You want to get consistent revenue, consistent income with your music business as a music producer. But the problem is you're not. Some months, you'll make maybe 2 to maybe 5K on a bad month. Other months you can go as far as 8 to maybe even 10K a month. And that's cool and all, but the problem is it's 2025. Inflation has made things a lot more expensive. And if you're not consistent with your income, you're not consistently making money, you've got a huge problem. So what I want to do is I'm going to show you and tell you about the system that I've used as a music producer to go from, I was actually 25,000 in credit card debt to doing 20K a month. And what I did was I was actually teaching recording artists how to produce their own music. I've also done custom production work thrown in there as well, mixing and mastering. And so here's kind of the story of how this all happened. I've been doing music. I was doing music 13 years. I did the artist route. I did the producer route. I even stepped outside of music to actually learn digital marketing, sales, ads, high ticket, and things of that nature, and bring it into the music industry. What I ended up doing was I ended up pivoting to doing a coaching program. Now, you might be sitting here being like, dude, I'm a producer. I'm talking about you. You might be thinking, I'm a producer. I do custom production work. That's not coaching. That's fine, but let me explain to you why what I did was actually way harder than what you're trying to do. So with what I did, I taught recording artists how to produce music and have had clients pay me anywhere from $3,000 to $6,000 each person. And these are artists. So if you look at the subsect of recording artists that want to learn music production, it's pretty small. On top of that, the amount of recording artists who want to learn and also have a computer, have a home recording setup and aren't super broke, that's also really small. And even in that super subset of the market, I was still able to scale to $20,000 per month. And in fact, November 2023, I had 23K in just 3 weeks. I've got a whole video on the channel talking about that if you want to go check that out. So if I was able to do that with that small subset of the same market you're going after, then 100% you can do the same. So now what I've done is I've made it my mission to help other music producers attract 5+ clients per month that pay 1 to 3K each. Okay, so there's a couple of elements that we need to discuss. And these are going to be the same things that I do with all of my clients in Music Money Mastery. And this is how I've been able to help my clients get such great results. So the first thing we got to talk about is what it is you actually do and how much money you charge. So we call this your offer. I call it your high ticket offer or your VIP music offer. Okay. By the way, we've got a black cup of coffee here. So we're mucho vibing today. So one of the big issues that you're having is like you are either undercharging or you have a price that you're willing to charge, but you still like give people discounts just because you're willing to work on the music. So if you've got this belief that, oh, well, I care more about the music than the money, and like I have limiting beliefs around money and I feel bad about charging. Okay, well, all of that is making you have barely any money in your bank account. It's making you stressed out every single month, and it's making you feel bad about your music. So you got to change that. So what you need to do, and what I do with my clients and what I've done myself, is you got to come up with an offer. And so what does that mean? By the way, I have another YouTube video on my channel on how to actually craft high ticket offers. So you can go check that out. But a quick summary of it here. First thing is go figure out exactly who you want to go after and figure out a client that you'd be willing to work with for free. We're not going to work for free, but we want to be working with clients that we love working with so much, we would work with them for free. Then what you want to do is figure out what are you going to deliver to them, but more importantly, what are the benefits of what you're delivering to them? I talk to my clients about this all the time. It's not features, it's benefits. So for example, if you're doing, let's say you're doing full production, mixing, mastering, okay? So if you're going to do a custom exclusive unlimited rights instrumental, like that's super valuable. Like the value of that is like, that's already like worth thousands. So the feature would be custom exclusive unlimited rights beat. But what you want to do is you want to communicate the benefits. The benefit is that you're going to, so if you're pitching this to an artist or they're seeing it on like, you know, your VSL or your video sales letter. So you're going to get a custom exclusive unlimited rights instrumental so that you can have a customized, crafted, so we can customize and craft and tailor your sound to you so that you can be more excited about making music than you've ever been before. You see how that's a benefit, not just a feature. For example, like let's say you're selling a car, okay? Let's say I'm selling for Mercedes-Benz, for example. It's one of my favorite cars. And I'm trying to think of like okay, let's talk about upholstery, the seats, the stitching, the steering wheel, whatever, right? So you're gonna have like this brand new fucking, I don't even know what it's made of. Brand new leather upholstery triple stitching. I'm just making some shit up. That's a feature, the triple stitching. Okay, that's completely made up, by the way. The triple stitching is a feature, the benefit, so that when you drive in your car, you feel so comfortable and you feel so luxurious that it is actually a physical pleasure for you to drive your car rather than, feeling like a physical burden to drive your car like you would in other cars. That's a benefit. Okay, so that's the first thing, is come up with what's all the features of what you're gonna do, but then translate them into benefits. And a little key tip is use a so that statement. Custom, exclusive, unlimited rights, instrumental, so that, and then come up with the benefit. So first thing is your offer, which is like you need to know who you're gonna work with and make, like, it's somebody that you should feel so excited about that you would work with them for free. Then come up with what are all the features and benefits using a so that statement, and then obviously price it accordingly. My recommendation is it should be a price with a comma in the price tag. Now, the way you're going to be able to command a high price is not only by doing this features benefits type of thing, but the big thing, come up with bonuses. A lot of producers, like, you don't realize this, but you have so much skills, knowledge, and expertise that you could come up with a small video course or some coaching or some live sessions that you do with your clients. Like, come up with certain different bonuses that you're going to have for your clients, not just the production work. Okay? The other thing is, most artists, and you'll know this from being a producer for so long, most artists don't get to work with a producer that actually really cares about their music. Most producers are super transactional, wham bam, thank you man type vibes. And artists are sick of that. And artists don't want to just keep buying beats on the internet and using just AI mixing and mastering websites. Like, a lot of artists are like, dude, I want to actually work with a producer who's going to care about my music and mentor me and make me feel like I'm going to the next level. That's what's also going to be able to help you command a high price. So that's the first thing that's going to contribute to you not having consistency, is you don't charge enough money. So that's the first thing. The second part is your marketing, okay? And what I do is I've come up with the system called the music social funnel. So let me explain how that works, and this is what I do with all my clients. What you're probably doing right now is one of these things. You're either cold DMing, you're relying on referrals and your warm network, or bumping and shaking hands with people at events, or you're getting like referrals and stuff, like your warm network. That's good, and I actually recommend for all of my clients and myself, I did this the same way, is to start with your warm network. But eventually, like, that's going to get tapped out, and you're not going to be able to consistently scale. You're not going to be able to consistently scale. So you need to come up with a way to get clients consistently, and that's why I recommend running paid ads. So what we do with my program, Music Money Mastery, which is where I help producers like you scale their income, we do really simple Instagram follow ads, right? And I also have other videos on this. If you go look how I grew from 10K to 38,000 followers, this is what I've done. This is how I've helped my client Ange, how she got a client to pay her $10,000, how I've helped my client Noah get his first 1.5K high ticket client. So I've helped a bunch of different people. You can check my client results highlights on my Instagram page. Do this in this exact strategy. So here's how it works. First of all, I want to break a misconception for you that the content that you post will get new eyeballs. I don't do that, and I don't teach my clients how to do that. That is not a great way to build a business. It can work. You can get clients and get new people to see you organically, but I don't like to rely on an algorithm. I want my income to be put $1 in, get an X amount back. Like, for me personally, like this month in July, I've already done 14K in cash collected, and I have gotten about a 9x return on ad spend on brand new cash. If you also include my back end cash, which is people who are on split pays and payment plans, I'm at about a 12x return on ad spend just for the month of July, and it's only July 15th. So this is how I'm going to explain to you how this works. I don't rely on content to get me new eyeballs. I run paid ads. So I create an Instagram video that is very carefully scripted and strategically scripted. And it's something I do with my clients, where literally what I do with you, if we work together, and what I do for my clients, I teach you how to script these ads. I give you all of my past winning ads, but then I also script the ad for you and I revise it for you, right? So we're gonna do that. And then what you do is you upload it as an Instagram reel. You go to Instagram on your computer, not on your phone. Not on your phone. Do not boost post from your phone. Apple and Facebook got into a little bit of a dick swinging contest a while ago. And basically, Facebook will charge you 30%. So for every dollar you spend on the actual ad, they're going to take 30% for themselves to cover the service fee that Apple is charging them. But if you go to your computer, Instagram.com, go to your profile, go to the post and boost it, you're all good. Okay. So you're going to boost it. You're going to create an audience. You're going to make sure you're optimizing for profile visits. And then you're going to set your budget. I recommend starting with a budget of $20 to $30 per day. That's about $600, $900 per month on ads. What's going to happen there is you're going to get new followers coming in every day on autopilot. So like right now, I'm averaging around, let's see, I'm averaging around $1.70 to $3 cost per follower. And I'm spending $125 per day. So I'm getting, and I can just double check. I think I'm getting anywhere from like right now. Yeah, so like right now, I would say I'm averaging around 60 new followers a day as of right now, like somewhere like that, like 60 to 80 new followers a day. And the cool thing about this is like you can DM all those new followers, have conversations with them to qualify them, book calls and close calls. And that's where we move into the third phase, which is high ticket sales. But let me just stop here and explain it to you. Phase one is you have to come up with a high ticket offer. Phase two is marketing and having a music social funnel. And the way it works is it's like a flywheel. So your content is going to actually nurture people. And what I do with my clients is I teach you how to create a sustainable content strategy. And what do I mean by that? The word sustainable content strategy means that you should be able to create content. I usually say start with like 3 times a week on Instagram. Like if you can do more, that's great, but at least 3 times a week you're posting. And of course, daily Instagram stories. Instagram stories are easy to do. But I teach you how to create a sustainable content strategy so that you can nurture the relationship with your new audience, but you don't get burnt out. I would rather you post 3 times a week for the rest of your life than be like, I'm gonna post every single day. And that only lasts like a month. Most of the time when I see people and they're like, I'm gonna post every day, I'm gonna just go hard. This is it, this is my time, this is my season. What do they end up doing? They go for like 7 days a week and they maybe last like 2 to 4 weeks. And then they're like, I'm burnt out. I need to refocus on my strategy. I just need to go find myself. So what I recommend you do is I recommend just 3 times a week at first and then scale your efforts later. Okay, where was I? So, and we develop that. Like I developed that, a custom sustainable content strategy with you and with my clients. Okay, so your ad is what's gonna bring people in every single day on autopilot. The content is what's gonna actually nurture the relationship with those fans, okay? After that, phase 3 is high ticket sales. So this is by far the most valuable thing you can do. The first thing is actually how do you DM people, okay? Like how do you DM people the right way? Because there is a right and wrong way to be DMing people, right? So what I do is like I have what's called my 10K DM template. This is what's got me to 10K a month, but also from after DMing over 10,000 artists, this is the framework I use, and this is the framework I use with my clients and I give to my clients. So you have to have a way to actually be able to qualify people, show that you're going to serve and support them, and book calls and close calls consistently. The next thing is called the post-booking process. This is, bro, I can't believe I'm telling you about this, but this is such a fucking gem. Like this is such a make or break for my business. Between the time that someone books a call and takes a call with you, that process is called the post-booking process. What emails are you sending? What videos are you sending? What music are you sending them to pre-qualify and pre-nurture those people so that they show up to the call fully trusting you, fully wanting to work with you? And at the end of the day, the only reason people don't work with you is 1, they don't have the money. 2, you choose not to work with them. That's the reason people don't work with you at the end of the day at that point. You make sales easy with the post-booking process. And then the final part of it is actually mastering high ticket sales. Like when you get onto a sales call, by the way, I've had a few clients of mine be like, oh yeah, like bro, I'm already good at sales, and then it turns out they actually aren't that good at sales, and then I come and help them, and that's okay, I get it. Like for example, one of my clients, his name's Baby Boy Blue. I have a whole video where I interviewed him. He's such a G, amazing person, great client. He came in and kind of already had his marketing dialed in and was already charging high ticket, but his sales process was not good. Like on the sales calls, he wasn't collecting cash on the call. And you've probably been through that where you're on a call with somebody, they're like, oh, I don't have the money today, but I'll have it in a week. And you're like, you know what, bro, don't even worry. Let's just start working. And you start working on the song, you mix it, and then what happens? They end up ghosting you and you never hear from them again. They never paid you. That sucks. Or you never started the work and they just ghost you and they never pay you and you never work. And it's like, oh, damn. So my client, Baby Boy Blue, he was like, bro, like that's what's happening to me right now. And so he hired me just to coach him on sales. And what ended up and he went like, he had a whole month where I think he took like 20 something sales calls. He said he closed 5. And I was like, okay, out of those 5, how many paid you? He's like, well, none of them paid me. I was like, so you said you closed 5, but none of them paid you on the call? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, cool, then you closed 0. So he closed 0 out of 20 in a month. I'm like, damn, bro, like really, we should work on your sales because you're dropping the ball on all these sales calls. He's like, damn, you're right. And then here's what happened. In the first 3 weeks of us working together, he closed 3.3 in cash collected, $3.3 thousand. Okay, the first thing he did was he was like, the first call he took after I helped him, he literally took a deposit of $750 and he closed the client for 1.5K. First call after he and I started working together, right? So what I do for my clients is I actually coach you on sales. I help you come up with your high ticket sales framework and I give you all of the questions that you need to ask on those calls so that the sales calls are fun, they're simple, and they're easy for you and you don't feel salesy or slimy and you actually feel more like they're like onboarding calls for your new clients. Okay, so again, just to wrap everything up, the reason that you are having inconsistency, right? The reason that you'll have some months where you're making like maybe 2 or 5K on a bad month, and then other months you're making 8 to 10K, but you're like, dude, I want to be consistently making 5 to 8 to 10K a month. 1, you're not charging enough, you don't have a good enough offer, and you don't know who you're going after. 2, you don't have your marketing system dialed in, and 3, you're probably not very good at sales, and I get it, and I've been there too. So look, hopefully this video gave you some value. If it did, awesome. Like, you know, drop a like, a comment, all that. And if you want me to further help you, here's what I can offer you. The main video pinned to my channel, you can actually go check that out. And it's a full training on every single thing I do with all my client results. And if you want to work with me, there's next steps there, right? Hopefully you got some value out of this video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.